Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Sandra. 大家好，你们好吗？ Last but not least, 欢迎。Welcome to Community Mandarin. Today, before we start our 10 minutes mini lessons, first, please allow me to apologize to you guys. 对不起. If anybody happened to catch my live on Monday would know that it had absolutely no sound. And then no, I did not forget to unmute myself. There was something wrong on my end. It turns out like an app from my computer shut down the microphone. In fact, I'm still like not 100% sure if this one has any sound. So I guess after the live, I'm gonna go back and watch my own live to make sure everything is going fine. But as long as I can tell of now. Hopefully you guys can hear me. If you can't, please leave a comment below. Tell me that you can hear me or anything. Okay. So today, 今天, as the title suggests, we're gonna be talking about Spring Festival. Spring Festival is another way of saying the Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year. Some people prefer to call it Chinese New Year because I do know that a lot of Asian cultures celebrate Lunar New Year. But yeah, as of today, as of this moment, I believe it is like 1 something o'clock in the morning for Chinese New Year. So yeah, it's a perfect timing to be talking about Chinese New Year. So first, let's look at how do we say Chinese New Year. So over here, let's introduce another way of calling Chinese New Year. We call it 春节. 春节. 请跟我读春节. So as we can see from the screen, 春节, when we break it down, 春 means spring, the season spring. 节, we've encountered Christmas, 圣诞节, Halloween, 万圣节. So 节 means festival. So when we put 春 and 节 together, it is Spring Festival. Or it is the celebration of the beginning of a spring. Also, it's still pretty cold everywhere. Okay, so since we're talking about spring, we're talking about 春, we might as well quickly go over the other 3 seasons as we can see from the screen. So first one, 春, spring. Next one, 夏, summer. After 夏, we have fall or autumn, as British people would call it. It is 秋, 秋. And last but not least, we have winter. It is 冬, 冬. So for the 4 seasons, we have 春, 夏, 秋, 冬. And I kind of color-coded. It's just a little quirk of myself. Okay, so and 春, 夏, 秋, 冬 is the formal word for our 4 seasons. But in daily conversations, we usually put a... Oh, there you go. We usually put a 天 behind it. So we want to say it is spring now. We can say 现在是春天. Similar go with 现在是夏天. 现在是秋天. 现在是冬天. I mean, truthfully, 现在是冬天. Now is winter. All right, next up, let's look at this sentence, which is factually correct for today. 今天是大年初一. 今天是大年初一. And now we break it down word by word. First, 今天, today. 是 is 大年. 大年, if we break it down, 大 big, 年 year. But when we stick it together, it means the Lunar New Year, means New Year. But in this case, it means the Lunar New Year. So 初一, sorry, I just realized I have a very, very silly typo on there. I meant to write down initial, and it turns out to be itinio. I'm sorry. Okay, ignore that. So 初 means initial. So 初一 over here, it means the initial first day. So the whole sentence means today is the first day of the Lunar New Year. So that's how we trying to address a day in the Lunar New Year system. For anybody who doesn't know, the Chinese Lunar New Year system is kind of different than, what we use for, for the whole universal, the year system. What we have is, I think it was invented by farmers like ages ago, when they basically based on the climate change to decide the different seasons and then different stuff. And then every lunar year would not have 12 months. It would have 12 months uh plus or minus 1 month, give or take. So every lunar year would have a different length. I believe the last year, the year of rat, 鼠年, they say the reason 鼠年, the year of rat, wasn't a very good year for, I would say, everybody, is because it has two January or 2 February. It has like an extra year in the Lunar New Year system. So anyway, Lunar New Year, Lunar Year system is different than what we are having now. We have January to December, right? Okay. So, but if we want to address a specific day in the Lunar Year system, we have to use the word 初一. 初一 means the first day. And then the second day, as we can see, 初二. And then we go 初三, all the way go to 初10. And then we come to the 11th day of the months, we would say 11 and 12. As long as you can count, you can address a day in the lunar year system. So 今天是大年初一 basically means today is the first day of the Lunar New Year. And let's look at this sentence. 昨天是大年30. 昨天 means yesterday. So this is when Mandarin gets a little bit confusing. So based on what I've explained before, 30 means the 30th date of the year. And 大年 means big year, new year, right? But when we put 大年 and 30 together, it does not mean the first 30th days of the new year. It means the New Year's Eve. You have to go back one day. Yeah. I know, like, logically, it kind of conflicts what I just explained before, but this is how now Mandarin works. 昨天是大年30 means yesterday was New Year's Eve, which is actually factually true. All right, since we're talking about Chinese New Year's, then let's quickly look at some of the customs. So over here, 中国年的习俗，中国年 Chinese New Year, and sometimes we can simplify it as the Chinese year. The we know means Okay, 习俗 means custom or tradition. So what 习俗 are we talking about? First, let's look at this one. So during Chinese New Year's, a lot of Chinese people would do is 包饺子, make dumplings. Over here, 包, when it is used as a verb, it means to wrap up something. When it is used as a noun, it means a bag. So if you say I bought a bag, we can say I bought it. 我买了一个包. But of course, you can see you bag something up kind of means you wrap something up. So 包饺子, 饺子 is one kind of dumplings that is shown in the picture. Basically, I would say there are various kind of dumplings, but 饺子 is what the majority of Chinese people would eat on New Year's Eve in celebration of a new year. And then let's look at another 习俗. It is 放鞭炮, light up firecrackers. So 放 is a verb, it means to release. So 放鞭炮 together. 鞭炮 means firecrackers. Again, it is as shown in the pictures. So when we're talking about firecrackers, we're talking about 鞭炮. It is a little bit different than, say, the fireworks lit up on the 1st of July. It is more about the sound instead of about the beautiful patterns and the lights. So that's why it is firecrackers instead of firework. So 鞭炮. the reason Chinese people like to light up fireworks during Chinese New Year is it came from a legend when it was said the monster Nian would go to the villagers and ravish their homes on a certain day every year. So the villagers would light up firecrackers, so it would make incredibly loud sound to scare the monster away. So it kind of being passed on as a tradition, a 习俗 to 放鞭炮. Now we don't use that to like say chase away evil spirit or evil spirit. Now we just do that to just celebrate, the beginning of a new year. And let's look at another 习俗. Over here you can see 发红包,发红包. Fa is a verb, it means to give out. 红包, hong, it is color red. I believe we've talked about the color white, bai, and color black, hei, and the color red, hong. How about this? After this lecture, sometime next week or the week after next week, we are gonna cover all the colors. So, hong bao. Bao, we've just talked about it when, it means a bag. So, a red bag, basically, it's a red packet or red envelope. Again, as shown in the pictures. Usually, what we do is do you know what's in there? Okay, money, of course, money. So usually what Chinese people do is that the older generation would put a considerable amount of money in the 红包, in the red pocket, and give it to their later generation, their sons and grandchildren, Usually it's a saying that older generation give it out to their future generations as a good wish, and also for people to grow up healthy. So this is some money for you to use or for you to save up for your future, that kind of way. So 红包. Okay, so there is of course more than 3 习俗 during Chinese New Year, but today we're just gonna briefly talk about those 3. Just in case next year I'm still here, there's more to come. Okay, so before we check out, first allow me to say for people who are celebrating the Lunar New Year in various Asian countries, 新年快乐, Happy New Year. And before we say goodbye, of course, I encourage you guys to visit Rola's website as well as the YouTube channel. And we'll see you next week. 再见，新年快乐！